Is your resume 1 page long or 2 pages long? Are you worried about your resume being too short or too long? Or in between? A lot of people ask us these questions. Freshers say we have a resume which is half page. People with 20 years of experience say that they have a resume which is 2 pages long. A common asked question is this adequate 2 page or 1 page resume? If I will apply with this resume, will I get selected and shortlisted? If my resume is too short, 1.5 pages, and I'm going for a senior management role, will I be rejected? Or if my resume is less than 1 page and I'm applying for a job in today's day and age, will it get rejected? So instead of worrying about the content and relevance, we are talking about the size of your resume. And it's something that you might want to ask yourself, how long is your resume? 1 page, 2 page, or a half a page? Welcome to Career Arth. I am Tushar Jaruhar and I am the founder of Career Arth. Today, let us try and solve this mystery if we can. Well, the first thing to understand about a resume is that it's not a museum. It's not where you put all the artifacts and expect people to come and visit them and see and say, oh, this looks beautiful. This doesn't look beautiful. So your resume is not a museum. It's important to recognize that, because then it becomes easier to focus on the next part, which is to identify what exactly is this resume for. Is this resume being sent to raise capital as an entrepreneur? Are you sending this resume for a board position? Are you sending this resume for a teaching opportunity in a local business school? That is very, very important. You need to curate your resume with a clear focus. For example, there was a person who started their career 20 years ago. This person came out of business school, went on to do sales and marketing, and then product management, strategy, operations. And the next thing I knew, this person was actually doing finance. He was the CFO of a small enterprise. Now, how would you categorize this resume? All the way from sales, marketing, products to going into finance. It's very simple. It's very straight. You ask yourself the question, what is your current focus? Is your current focus to pursue finance, or are you making a career shift? Do you want to convey the message that you are a generalist, or do you want to convey the message that you are a specialist? Now that depends on the job. If you're looking for a broad consulting role, you might want to say that, look, I am a generalist. I have these different skills. I can look at a problem from various angles and I can resolve them. But if you are a specialist, then why would you confuse people by telling about your sales and marketing experience if you are not specialized in that and you're looking to specialize and focus on finance? So I think that's one of the first things you need to ask yourself about your resume. Are you a generalist or a specialist, and what are you trying to focus your resume on? The next thing is impact. A lot of people just write duties on their resume. Let me read out a few that we've extracted recently, and I got the team at Career Arth to pen this down for me. One of them says, completed the work in 2 days and on time. Okay, so you completed the work in 2 days and on time, great. But what about it? What was the work? Was it your regular day-to-day job? Was it something new? Was it a project you completed? Another one says, improve the efficiency of the process and saved 5 days. Efficiency of what process? Efficiency of an IT process, a process to send a spacecraft to Mars. It's not very clear to us. And I'm sure it's also not very clear to the recruiters looking at the resume. What you will notice is that when you start listing duties, you will find that it doesn't have any clear impact. But when you look at projects which you've taken taken on yourself, taken the initiative to do, you will always be inclined to showcase the impact that you created through your project. We all like to showcase what we've done. We all want to say that we did it well and that we worked with people where required to make things happen. And that is the impact your resume is looking for. So filling it up with more duties will make your resume large, 1 page and 2 pages long, but it may not have the impact that recruiters are looking for. The next point is timeline. Now you did something 20 years ago. How is that relevant now? Maybe it is relevant because you worked for a big company back then, which is a very big brand name. But from a company perspective, it is relevant. But from a work perspective, it may not be relevant. How sales and marketing happened 20 years ago and the CRM tools that were used 20 years ago may not be any more relevant now. Some of the data management problems that we see today and how they have evolved perhaps did not exist 20 years ago. Think about AI. Did AI exist 20 years ago? So you've got to ask yourself the following question, that what I did 15, 20 years ago, is it still relevant to the position I'm applying for? It definitely demonstrates your ability to work, solve problems, work in teams and so on. But as far as the technical skills are concerned, it may not be where it should be, based on the fact that you've changed domains. You've gone from marketing and sales to product to investment banking to strategy and so on and so forth. And that is evolution. Human beings have evolved. Our careers will also evolve, right? Common sense. Right? So that is something to think about, and you might want to look at the timelines as you fit your resume and realize that it might be better off to just summarize it and say, work for company XYZ in different roles. These are some of the key things I did, and just leave it as a summary. Tells the other person that you were employed and that you did some meaningful work, but that's not the most important part of your resume. That's not the focus of your resume. And it helps remove the clutter. It brings clarity. It helps the person reviewing it say, yes, this person is clear on what they want to do, and they move forward with that. So the framework at Career Arth is very simple. It has got 3 components: focus, impact, timeline. Make sure you're focusing your resume on the right thing. The second thing is, what is the impact that you are creating, not just writing the duties down. And finally, what is the timeline you're looking at? Last 10, 15 years, last 7 years. 68% of the recruiters want a resume to be about 1 page long if you have less than 7 years of experience. If you have more than 7 years of experience, then the resume can be longer. 27% of the recruiters want keywords, action words in your resume, in those phrases and sentences that you craft, which clearly demonstrate that you are result oriented, you have a clear timeline, and you can deliver on what you have promised. Therefore, it is very, very important to use the FIT framework. And because of that, I have left the FIT framework at the end of this video. You can look at it at your own leisure and try and see if your resume follows that framework. Doesn't matter whether it is 1 page or 2 page. What matters is the focus, impact, and timeline. If these 3 things are there, then I think you should be in safe hands. We at Career Arth continue to do well. We at Career Arth continue to help people grow, and we have found our purpose, Career Arth. Subscribe, stay tuned so that I can keep uploading the videos and you can keep checking them. Write down your comments. We'll be happy to answer them in due course of time. I look forward to seeing your Career Arth. Subscribe now and have a nice time.